we're just doing a reaction today to Euphoria. You know, I've actually never heard of the show.
You never heard of the show?
I've heard of it, but like I've never watched it.
It's a good show.
Okay.
I've watched it front and back. We're here to like kind of see if it accurately portrays addiction.
Addiction. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to?
Well, I've never seen the show. So.
Guess. What's your guess?
I mean, so I know that hearing from friends that it's Zendaya who she's playing in this. She's an addict.
Yes.
Correct. So I mean, I've heard there's drug use in it, you know, but like I'm curious to see that because like us addicts in whole, it's not like using the drugs that makes us the addict. It's our behaviors that makes us the addict.
I agree.
I'm obsessive.
So you want to see if it's gonna accurately portray the behaviors?
Like, yeah, gotta see if she's like tweaking or twitching or, you know, this weird stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
She get like major anxiety.
Okay, well, so you're just gonna check on the behavior thing?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna observe it for what it is.
Okay. I think for somebody who's watched the show before, I think it accurately portrays addiction. Thinking back, I don't exactly remember the behaviors part. There's a few things in the show where I'm like, yeah, I did that.
You know, like, is she like itching herself?
Like I wouldn't make like
is she
sweating.
in conversation with somebody, but she's like so fixated on using that she can't pay attention to the conversation? We're gonna find out.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
How to get away with being a drug addict. Step 1. Find a cover drug. Because no matter how hard you try to hide it, if you're doing drugs, you're gonna get caught. It's inevitable. And when that does happen, you don't want to be on the defensive. Trust me. No one believes an addict when they're caught. First things first, you want to lay the groundwork.
Color, baby?
Oh, killer mutant baby. I think I'm gonna start smoking weed.
Why would you start smoking weed? Would I have panic attacks every fucking day?
I think. Wait. No. I think so. Like as far as the behaviors thing that I was talking about, like from the bathroom, she's talking in the bathroom, like the way that she's talking, you know, like real nonchalant, and relaxed and whatnot. Yeah. But then she like looks like she hasn't showered in a couple of days. She's got like major bags underneath her eyes. You know, she just looks like hygiene has gone out the window.
Okay, I agree. And also, when I was doing Xanax, and then like my brother would was like, dude, you shouldn't do that anymore. I would be like, no, I'm just like drinking and smoking weed now. That's why I'm acting like
cover
this.
Drug.
Yes,
okay,
I did the cover drug thing. All right.
Well, yeah, I was using meth, and I'd be like, oh no, I'm just drinking.
I'm just
no, smoking meth.
Okay.
You are so fucking selfish.
Gia, it fucking helps with my fucking anxiety and my panic attacks and shit.
I don't want to talk to you, bro.
Can you just fucking listen for a second? I want to talk to you. Stop! Gia, what the fuck? The fuck is wrong? What the fuck? Are you fucking crazy? You push me! What the fuck is wrong with you? Get your hands off of me! It's a fucking idea!
I think we can stop there. I think the aggression, the anger, the hostility.
Yeah. For sure.
You know,
valid.
It helps me with my panic attacks. That's why I need it. The justification.
The justification for sure. All right.
I'm a fucking liar. Yes, and you don't give a shit about you. You don't give a shit about me. You don't give a shit about your mama. You don't give a shit about actually doing fucking weed. It was an idea, okay? And I should never fucking told you because she's like fucking mom. You're fucking crazy.
Real,
now,
too real.
what you want to do is make a second. Step 2. Gaslight.
Yeah.
When you do drugs, it's not like when other people do drugs. It's better than committing suicide. I'm sober, that's what I think about.
Okay, yeah, this is an accurate portrayal.
I was using drugs as the way of killing myself. More of like I didn't care what happened to me.
That's how I was. I just stopped caring.
Yeah.
Stop giving up. Fuck.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of drug addicts struggle with suicidal ideations.
And I think this moment here or she's laying, or she's sitting on the bed, right? Like that's the moment that we reach where we're like, this is like, we're sick and tired. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired. We hate feeling that way. And like, that's like our bottom. But the problem is, unless we get any kind of like proper treatment or we get a sponsor, we work steps, like we'll keep going back to that point.
Yeah.
You know, and like that, like, but I've been to that point, and it's like I remember like, you know, being in Georgia, you know, being in my room for weeks at a time. I wouldn't see my parents. I wouldn't, you know, shower. I wouldn't talk to anybody, and I was suicidal. I wanted to kill myself, and I hated my life. And I feel like the way that I felt is how she's depicted in this scene right here.
Really?
100%.
Well, let's go.
That's where I'm at, G. Okay? That's where I'm at. Now, if you want to tell Mom, you can tell her. But I don't know what else I can fucking do. I love you. So please, just promise me it's just gonna be weed and nothing more.
Another thing is, people can tell you to stop all day. Like, please, I love you so much. Please stop this. Just weed. Or like nothing, like stop. And it's like you're still gonna want to use.
Or the other side of that, why can't you just stop?
Yeah.
You know, like my dad, he grew up with a father that was alcoholic. So he saw that person that his dad was, and was like, I'm never gonna be that. So he never picked up anything. So when I grew up and I got curious and I got into drugs and I got into hard drugs and I couldn't stop, he's like, why can't you just stop? Like, he doesn't have the mental capacity to understand that, like, what I'm going through. He's like, why can't you just stop?
Yeah, because he doesn't understand.
He has no idea.
He doesn't understand. For sure. Okay, next scene.
I think through like just the first scene that you showed me, I think it does accurately portray a drug addict.
So far?
Because it doesn't show, you know, the drug addict in the street. You know, it doesn't show the drug addict that
it's a teenager struggling with addiction.
Yeah, well, it's a person struggling with addiction, and it looks like a regular person. And to be honest, most addicts are regular people, and people don't realize the stigma behind that. People think like, oh, like meth, for example. You know, when I was like, oh yeah, I used to use meth like hardcore, people were like, you use meth? Like I could never see that.
Yeah. Rue's first time getting high.
And I know it all may seem sad, but guess what? I didn't build this system. Nor did I fuck it up.
Been waiting for me. What the fuck? Feel the morning on my face. Ain't a pill that.
And then it happens. That moment when your breath starts to slow.
I'm asleep when
And every time you breathe out all the oxygen you have. And everything stops. Your heart, your lungs, and finally your brain. And everything you feel and wish and want to forget, it all just sinks.
Okay, this is like a little.
So this is like it looks like it's romanticizing it a little bit, right?
No, I don't. I think the opposite.
Really?
It looks like it's depressing, like, but it also looks like the way that it's like portrayed in this is that like her first time was, you know, she was drinking, then she was like blowing down a line of cocaine, and then she's smoking a fucking joint all in the same time. Your first time with everything like that.
I mean, it's also TV.
Well, I understand. I understand, but like with this part, I guess I don't agree. You know, like I guess my first time getting high was I was a kid. I was 14, and I was smoking weed. I didn't even really get high.
Yeah, I was 14 smoking weed.
I didn't even really get like high or whatever, but like it was with some friends and it was in a basement and we took like a hit out of a bong and they got super stoned, but I didn't really inhale it, but because I was scared.
Yeah.
You know, but then I think my first time using like maybe harder drugs, it was a little bit like around this scene, but not entirely. You know, I was with some of like the same friends, but we were partying and it was actually at someone's house. You know, and they're like, hey man, we got some coke or whatever, you gonna try it? I'm like, I don't know, I've never tried that, man, but they were all doing it, so they're like handing bumps out, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. But it wasn't this feeling where like how she's portraying, she's like, oh, the oxygen just leaves your body, and like, no, it just was like a rush.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, You know, and then but that was cocaine. But I didn't experience multiple drugs in one night. Like, but even with like when it got worse and worse and worse, and I mean like when it felt better and better and better, I was with less and less people. You know,
isolated. She's alone in this, it seems.
She's at a party, but yeah, it depicts her being alone. Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason I see it as like because I personally find it attractive, of like feeling like when I do a drug, I feel like I can breathe. Like I feel free. I remember like popping a Xan and like feeling release, like so much better.
Really?
Like I can be okay now, dude. So like that's how I identify with that scene, and that's why I view it as romanticized.
See, you're on the downside, right? I'm on the upside. When I smoked meth for the first time, I was like, holy shit. Like, or when I ate it for the first time, I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is what I've been looking for, because I have a lot of energy, right? And like when I don't like downers. I don't like feeling like I'm not in control. But like when I started using meth, when I was 14, I was put on Adderall, and I could breathe because my brain would shut up, and I could just like zone in and focus and complete whatever I needed to do. So when I tried meth, I was like, wow, like this is what I've been missing. Like this is the feeling that people talk about. That feeling of like, But as soon as I found meth, moderation was out the window. It was the age of indulgence for me and for meth.
Isn't it? Meth. I think it's weird that we have a drug of choice.
100%.
It's like,
you think it's weird?
I think yeah, we all have different preferences, but it's like, it's crazy the like different how we prefer, because I liked my drug of choice the best because I got high because I wanted to escape reality. And then like if I were to do an upper, it'd feel like I'm too present.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think a lot of like what drugs and even like medications do to our body, like we have a very specific chemical composition, and if you take a drug and I take a drug, the way that your body reacts to it, it's gonna elicit a different response to you, right? Whereas my body may react differently, and it's gonna elicit a different response from me. Right now, you may hate that feeling, but I may love that feeling.
Yeah.
Right. And so like that, me loving that feeling and you hating that feeling steers you away from that and brings me closer. So my meth is your Xanax.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Oh yeah.
And then suddenly, you give it air again. Give it life again. I remember the first time it happened to me, I got so scared I wanted to call 911, go to the hospital and be kept alive by machines and apple juice. But I didn't want to look like an idiot. I didn't want to fuck up everyone's night. And then over time, that's all I wanted.
To take your place. Guess that I am just a hopeless case.
I like that it does the flashback at the end to her childhood.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start picking up drugs and alcohol, like everything that you valued in your life, like growing up, or like things that you thought were fun, like going out with friends or going on adventures, like all that shit goes out the window, because you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm down to go out, but like, let's bring this.
Yeah.
Like, let's do that, like, oh yeah, let's go swimming, but like, let's get fucked up and do it.
Yeah. And it's crazy that I can do that sober. Like, I have so much fun sober now. One of my biggest fears when I first got sober was like, I'm not gonna have fun anymore.
Yeah.
And like, now I have so much fucking fun.
Mine was that I was gonna gain too much weight, and I did.
Really?
160 to 260 to 230 to a torn ACL and meniscus, and my weights fluctuated so much. I remember in early sobriety, like, prior to sobriety, meth, like, I had this beautiful six-pack abs, quote unquote. I thought I was so unhealthy, but like then, now I'm just, yeah, it's weight is definitely a discomfort now.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep it off.
Yeah. It's crazy. When I was in my addiction, I never looked at my body. Like, I didn't want to acknowledge my body. Like, when I got sober and I actually took a look at myself, I was like, fuck, I'm kind of skinny. And I was always insecure for like, I guess, no reason, but I just like, I refuse to like really take a look at myself.
Dude, see, that's interesting because I'm the reverse.
Yeah.
Because when I was all fucked up or even on meth, I was like, damn, I look so good, you know?
Yeah,
and I go out and like go to
like
the beach and like have my shirt off, and I thought I looked like the shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like I like neglected my
But that's
body.
meth too. Meth gives
Yeah.
you like this crazy confidence that like I was dying.
Yeah, me too. Okay, drugs are probably the only reason I haven't killed myself.
Ollie, can I tell you something?
I'm not a guidance counselor. I'm just a crackhead who's trying to do a little good on this earth before I die.
When I'm clean, you know, when I'm present, like a part of this world, I don't just think about relapsing. It's darker than that. To tell you the truth, drugs are probably the only reason I haven't killed myself.
Now we're talking. Now you're being real. Now you're being honest. Because this whole bullshit about being a functioning drug addict, about finding balance, that ain't true. That's a lie.
It's not a lie.
It's a lie whether you know it or not, but more importantly, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. The guy has a point of like, first I think you can actually fucking get somewhere, like telling somebody like, this is how I really feel. Like, yeah, if I don't have drugs, I really feel like I want to kill myself. Like, I feel like once you like get open and vulnerable with somebody, that's when you can fucking start doing some shit. And then he said something else of like, being a functioning addict.
Oh, the balance stuff.
I can find a balance with this. I'm only gonna do it at night, only on the weekends, only every other day.
It says in the book. Yeah.
Yeah. We try it so many different ways, and we think we can really manage it when we can't.
Yeah.
So I agree with the
Yeah,
with the man.
I think it's a powerful moment, even for her, whether she realizes it or not, to realize that it's not drugs. Or, you know, she says that, hey, without drugs, like I wanted to kill myself. Because of drugs, I didn't kill myself. That's a powerful statement, and whether she realizes it or not, that just shows her, or goes to show that like we have more inside of us that we need to work on. Mm-hmm. You know?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Hey, whatever, man. I was shooting dope before your mama's egg dropped. I've lived a whole motherfucking life to get to this diner to sit across from your arrogant ass so that you ever whatever me. You're 17. You don't know shit. You think you're hard? I'm harder. You think you're tough? I'm tougher. You got clean and went to kill yourself? Same motherfucking story here. You wanna know why? You wanna know why? I'll tell you why. Because you don't know how to live life. You don't have the tools. You're too busy running around trying to bullshit everybody into thinking you're hard and you don't give a fuck, when in reality you give so much of a fuck you can't even bear to be alive. So guess what? New rule, no more wasting my motherfucking time. You want to use, but the least you can do is be honest. Own that shit.
That's some real shit right there. That was some real shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. Because he's really like, it kind of seemed like tough lovey. He felt the same way.
I was listening to a guy the other night. I was listening to a guy share about exactly this. He's like, you know, I wouldn't have 9 years clean if when I got here, somebody didn't tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He's like, I would have walked over everybody.
Yeah, because we think we fucking know what's up.
Oh,
we think we know
yeah.
it all. Good shit, dude. So right now, you think it actually?
Yeah. No, I'm happy. I might go home and watch some more of the show
Really?
because it's interesting. Yeah, I think it's interesting, and the way that she actually plays it very well.
Yeah, I heard. I think if I heard correctly, that it actually like playing the part of an addict actually like affected her mental health.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh.
Well, thank you, Matt, for coming on here and watching a few little bits and pieces of Euphoria.
I think this is an interesting new segment you'll have.
Yeah, we're thinking of calling it Stigma and Chill. But it's really cool. I haven't dissected this show like this before. Like, I watched it, I was like, yeah, good shit. It was entertaining as well. But like, I think it's cool that I'm dissecting it a little bit. But yeah, thank you for watching. We hope to do this again.
And that concludes this episode of Stigma and Chill.
Stigma and Chill. I need to really figure out the name I want to name this. It might be Stigma and Chill.